My objective is stronger than their objection. So when they say no, hell no, we're not doing this, I'm like, oh. When he says, I need to get 3 more bids, he's saying, I need to get 3 more bids. That's not a no. I'm going to keep going. Selective hearing. There are certain objections that I choose not to hear. You're going to say, like, what? Some people call this ignoring. So we sell the roofs, and customers over here like, this all sounds great, but I'm going to get 3 bids. Have you ever heard that one, anybody?
This morning.
He's like, dang it! All right, so Sam's in your earbud, and I'm over here like, you didn't hear anything yet. I mediated. I caught what he said before it hit your ears. I'm like, hold on. And then I go to Danny, and I'm like, Danny, he said, show me how he doesn't have to get 3 more bids here. And you're like, oh, so what you're saying is you need me to show you how you don't need to get 3 more bids, and I'll make this make total sense right now without you shopping it out? Oh, I'll do that for you. Anyway, so let me show you does that make sense? So it's, how did I hear it? Because here's the problem. Most people hear, when I say I'm customer and I come to you and I'm like, hey, I need to get 3 bids, you hear it as what? No. No. You hear no. Did I say anything about no? No means no. Write that down. And until they say no, I keep going. My objective is stronger than their objection. So when they say no, hell no, we're not doing this, I'm like, oh. When he says, I need to get 3 more bids, he's saying, I need to get 3 more bids. That's not a no. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, let me give you 3 different options. It's like, I'll bid it 3 times for you. Do you need me to change my shirt, or is it okay that I keep the same blue shirt on? Yeah, so I hear it. So let me give you another example. You don't sell, but pretend you sold me. Sell me on going to the bar with you this weekend. And I'm like, I don't drink.
Good, I need a designated.
Right, hold on. So, hey, will you go to Michael asked me to go to the bar with you this weekend.
Hey, you want to go to the bar with me?
No, I actually don't drink.
Oh, that's fine. You know,
Well, hold on. How do you hear it? You hear it as face value, right?
Yeah.
Sam doesn't drink. Well, very rarely once in a while. So I go, wait a minute. Sam doesn't drink. That's it, face value. Sam doesn't drink. I didn't tell you I'm not going to the bar with you. I just said, I don't drink. So if you hear it as no, then you're going to just give up and your objection, or my objective overpowered your objective. Does that make sense? He heard it as, well, great. Doesn't mean you have to drink to have a phenomenal time at the bar. You can be the designated driver, and we're actually going to go and meet with this person and this person. You can bring your girlfriend. Like, you know, I mean, there's so many other things you could go into. Does that make sense? So, but if I hear it as, well, that's lame. Maybe we'll change plans or something. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what happens all the time. Okay? So, selective hearing. There are certain objections that I choose not to hear. You're going to say, like, what? Some people call this ignoring. So I make a rule. Especially, it's in the intro. Remember how there's 2 parts of a sale, kind of, or 3 parts to follow up. The intro. If you're cold calling somebody and they're like, not interested. I need to talk to my spouse. I can't afford it. I hear those as what we call a smokescreen objection, okay? So this is somebody that's just blowing smoke. It's their natural response to salesperson, okay? So I need to hear them, one of 3, basically, I don't need to hear them. I just ignore them. I'm like, cool beans, I'm going to keep moving, okay? And if they say it 3 times, and I'm like, I mean it, the same objection 3 times, I'm like, oh, we have a problem here. It's a real objection. If they do what we call objection bouncing, and they go, hey, I'm not interested. And you're like, oh, that's fine, just so you know. They're like, well, I can't afford it. And you're like, oh yeah, no, don't worry, it's not like an, and they just like keep making up new objection. It's just them looking for, they're changing bait and being like, can I sell this guy on getting off my porch or getting out of here, right? And so I still treat those as smokescreen objections, and I just navigate them, and I'm just like, all right, I can stay in the pocket a little longer than you. What ends up happening is you're a quarterback, blitzes are happening, objections are happening, and you're like, freak objections, and you just start scrambling. But a good quarterback, a Tom Brady, he's like, there's craziness coming at me, and he's like, yeah, okay, not that receiver. Let's get that one, you know. And you're like, how does he stay so poised in the pocket, right? It's because he doesn't allow those objections to really phase him at the beginning. Okay, so different strategy would be when I'm sitting at table, we've gone through the whole presentation, they understand the value. Now it's like, but really, I have $0 in the bank account. And you're like, wow, we got a different objection. Like we got maybe even a condition here. So the third thing that you got to understand is it a condition? Okay, a condition is they can't buy. Like they don't qualify for credit, they are moving tomorrow, there's zero opportunity here, they rent the home, so it's kind of like, well, I'm talking to the renter and I'm asking them to sell me their home, and it's like, that's condition, like they can't sell the home. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's important to understand that. So let's say somebody gives you a smoke screen and it's in this first category. One of the techniques you can use is I call it a micro validate. So everybody's heard of validation, right? So any objection handling, the smoothest thing that people like to hear when it's a true objection is empathy, validation. They want to know that you heard them, right? Well, on a smokescreen objection, if you give the objection too much weight, then you make the objection bigger than it needs be. Does that make sense? So I do what's called a micro validate. So a couple lines you could use would be like, perfect. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Yep. Yeah, most of your neighbors say that. Perfect. I feel you. Of course. Yeah, cool. All those kind of things it's a simple micro validate. Does that make sense?